The UFC Mexico show over the weekend didn't have many stars on it, but the main event between Stevens and Rodriguez was expected to be an exciting featherweight contest. However, it ended up being a complete flop, as an eye scratch 15 seconds in ended the match in a no contest. It was kind of reminiscent of UFC 46 when Vitor Belfort's glove grazed Randy Couture's eye and opened a cut, and the doctor stopped the bout in 49 seconds. Vitor won the belt on the match. However, in this case, Vitor did throw a legal strike. In 2012, Clay Guida and Gray Maynard was an anticipated contest, as Clay gained a reputation of being a wild and exciting fighter. But in a bizarre performance, Guida ran away for most of the 25 minutes as Gray pursued him. In the end, the judges gave it to Gray in one of the strangest and most uneventful main events in UFC history. In 2008, Anderson Silva was unstoppable. He was coming off 8 straight highlight reel finishes when he took on Patrick Cote. So when he was toying with Cote and not taking the fight to him, the first 2 rounds were extremely disappointing for fans. And then 39 seconds into round 3, Cote sustained a knee injury on his own, and the bout ended abruptly with no finality other than a win by injury for Silva. Silva's bout with Talis Latis was also a passive one, but Silva's fight with Damian Maia at UFC 112 in Abu Dhabi really frustrated people. Silva was playing around and not engaging for much of the bout and talking trash. Damian Maia also didn't engage with Silva, so it ended up being a very boring bout and little damage being done to anyone. UFC 151 was supposed to be Hendo versus Jones, but Hendo got injured. Chael was willing to replace him on a week's notice. Jones declined, and the event ended up being the first event cancelled in UFC history. With the months of hype and trash talk and bad blood and advertising as the most heated rivalry in the history of the UFC, Rampage versus Rashad ended up being a fairly boring decision win for Evans. Rashad landed a nice punch early, but other than that, it was a pretty unmemorable wrestling match that nowhere matched anywhere near the colossal hype coming into the contest. The late Kevin Randleman was supposed to take on Pedro Hizzo at UFC 24. He slipped backstage warming up during the event and ended up with a concussion. So the main event ended up being Steve Judson versus Ted Williams. Matt Serra and Chris Lytle were competing for a title shot versus GSP in the finale of Tough 4. The bout ended up being a very boring contest contested almost entirely in the clinch. The fight though was an epiphany for Lytle. He made the decision that he would never again play it safe and focused on becoming an entertaining fighter. That conscious decision translated to him winning 10 performance bonuses after that bout. And Dan Severn versus Ken Shamrock at UFC 9 was 30 minutes of almost nothing going on. It was one of the worst bouts in UFC history.
3 days before the event goes off, they come and tell us that we can't strike. Like we would get arrested if we strike. It's illegal now. And so that I think that was the fight that really, in my opinion, was the worst fight in UFC history. It was horrible.